everybody, Rocktimus Prime here, back with another video review. Now today we're going to be taking a look at a toy that I have been waiting actual years to get my hands on, because this came out 8 years ago as of this recording. This toy came out in 2010 and I just got my hands on it last week. So, going to be doing, as per the title screen, the Morpher Annihilator. This thing is freaking awesome. I am a fan of steam engines, and I'm a fan of Transformers. So this kind of wraps it all up in one little package. Now apparently trains like this did actually exist, but I don't even know what to look for. Like Old West tender trains? All I know is that this right here is the boiler. Smokestack, obviously. And would these generate steam, or are they the whistles? They're obviously for the robot mode, but what purpose do they serve in train mode? Now the part of the train that is just actually the robot is just this front section, because as you see, Night Morpher is modeled after the Commander, which is their version of Hearts of Steel, which was a comic book that came out a couple years ago where the Transformers were all steam powered. So Mastermind took it upon themselves to bring us Optimus first. Now they called him Commander, and he was red, and gray and blue, like Optimus, and then they repainted him in black and gold and called him Annihilator. Now this has several other key features that were improved upon from the Commander. The one thing you want to do is you do kind of want to hold him the way I have him here, supporting the front and the back, because if you just hold the front, the engine section, the tender or the cab will break off, because it's only hooked on to the feet here and to the boiler this way. Hooked on this way, so it's not the greatest of grasps, and if you do wiggle it around too much, it will come undone and crash onto the floor, and it's not good if you have cement floors like I do. But if you're rolling him, that's not such a problem. What are you rolling him on? Well, let me tell you. For you see, the Night Morpher comes with 2 sets of track. You can put them together. It is really stiff to get these two together. I did manage it once, and I thought I was going to break them. This is what it would look like together. Now, in the category of accessories, what would you think that Optimus Prime Night Morpher Annihilator person would come with? Well, he comes with his gun, which is here in the smokestack, which is really cool. His whole entire trailer is basically an accessory, so we'll just unclick that, and you see this is just really the engine part. This is the robot part. And now we come to the trailer section, which is pretty cool. I do really like this mode. Well, I love the detail back here, all the rivets and stuff, and the ladders and the door. Very cool. Now, on the underside, he does have several posts. You can hear stuff rattling around in there. He does have several posts on the bottom, which houses spare hands, the holders, and a spot for something else in there if you have another circle peg to put in there. So just like every other Optimus ever, you just want to take these 2 sides of the trailer, pull them apart, and it opens up. Now this is a little ladder that you can fold down. And here you have the base platform thing for Night Morpher Annihilator, excuse me. And again, the detail on it is fantastic. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that. There we go, get the light in there. All that nice detail is so cool. And this little cannon here, because it is actually a cannon, is actually a little loose on my version. Though I have a feeling that was because I didn't know there was a peg that needed to be in a certain place. And it does actually hold this plate on, which when you have it covered, basically, looks like that, so there's not a giant hole in the back of your Commander. Or Annihilator in this case. Pulling this off, we'll set it aside, because that is another accessory. You can see that he has a giant mortar cannon in the back of his cab, which can slide along this track and go up that far, can turn around and all this kind of fun stuff. And yes, he has a sword. This is one of my favorite accessories. Although the handle is really short, it has to be that way to fit into his hand. This is such a cool sword. It kind of reminds me of Meta Knight's sword. And I can't really tell you why. We're still not done with the accessories. This mortar cannon can actually split apart into several different components. You just want to take these sections here and pull them out. So now that you have the cannon section, you want to take this nozzle. You just want to pull that off. This will become the scabbard for his lance. Set that off to the side. You want to then come in here, remove this, which will become a rocket later on. Remove this piece by pushing it down. This will become his lance. And you have another rocket. Now, in addition to the 2 hands that are currently on him, he does come with 2 slightly pointing hands, so he can point his sword at people. It's not very effective, and I'll show that off when I get him into robot mode. but it's a feature, I guess, that he can slightly point things at people. Now, he also comes with this circular peg holder thing, which Commander did come with as well. It's for the lance. You can plug this on his back and slide the lance through it. And he comes with this piece, which actually holds his new sword. So, you have an option to either store the sword or store the lance. Now, this is his lance. Now, what you want to do is you want to take this section and put them together. And then come up here and take off this little cap, which is an additional feature that was specifically for Annihilator and not for Commander. This is one of the improvements that they made. They had a little cap on the lance because, as you'll see in a minute, the lance is very pointy. So, a lot of people were afraid of it breaking and bending during transformation and things like that, and storage and whatnot. This plate, as you can see, this is where the back of the boiler pegs in to the cab to hold it in place. You want to take this and just unfold it, and now you have a shield. Annihilator comes with a spare head for the Commander. Now, this is an upgrade piece for the Commander, so that you could take his head off and give it some more articulation. Moving on to the actual engine. This is the main chunk of the robot, and it looks so very, very cool. And it is really cool. Each one of these wheels turns individually, aside from the one right here in the front, which is just solid plastic. It doesn't actually roll. A couple issues I do have with mine, and I don't know if this is just because it's been sitting idle for 8 years and it's only begun to move now that it's in my hands, but the front plow here, cow catcher thing, is really loose. It doesn't like to hold together all that well. Of course, it's doing it fine now, but if you're messing around with it, it's really easy for it to start coming apart. And at first I thought it was broken, but it does have to do that for the transformation. It's just kind of annoying. We're going to connect the trailer real quick, and we're going to do some size comparisons. So here we have Annihilator, and here we have the first edition Black Prime, Optimus Prime. Here we have him with the Classics mold. Now this is a comparison I can't believe nobody else is doing. Generations Warpath. I don't know why. And of course, because it's my channel, MP10. Anyway, shall we talk transformation? And here he is! Here is the Night Morpher Annihilator! And I really have to say, this guy impressed me. Well, I was also surprised at how small he was compared to what I had in my mind. I was thinking maybe a modern Voyager size or something along those lines, but he is a Voyager size. But I was thinking more maybe leader class, you know, a giant train, due to some of the pictures that I've seen, and he's totally not that, which I'm okay with now. From everything that I can find, this is a improved version in terms of the articulation and things like that over the Commander. Now, I have a few creaky joints on mine, which would be terrifying if it was the Commander. However, I know this is the improved design, so that's not going to be a problem. The joint where this connects right here used to have two little clear blue tabs on the Commander. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's holding it there, whether it's just friction or what, but there is a metal joint in there that just clicks into place. Also, one point of contention is here in the arm. Now, I'm going to rotate mine. Ugh. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure why it's making that noise. I've never heard it on another figure like this. Now, the elbow joint I do have a problem with because it's higher than I feel like it should be. It's more up in the bicep than it is in the actual elbow. So it bends right there, and it's really solid and really clicky. And then the double joint is more where the single joint should be. It's really bizarre, really bizarre. But his head is on a ball joint now, so his head will go all over the place and catch that beautiful light piping. Oh, look at those eyes. Now, he does have a visor you can push down, which is kind of cool, I guess. He does have a waist joint. Very soft, ratchety joint. Now getting his arms out of the way here. They do rotate here as well as bend at the elbow and rotate at the bicep. Ugh. His legs go out. They will go down. They will go forward, but only that far due to the skirt. Then there is a ratcheted knee joint, and the toes are on a hinge, so they will go side to side more often than they'll go front to back. Now, let's accessorize, prioritize, and something else. First of all, let's come to these two canisters here that are boosters. They have a cut in the back of them that's more of like a J shape, which fit onto those slots right there on his back. Clamp that down on top, and now he has a jetpack. Now, yes, this on mine is very temperamental. It does not like to stay. As for the rest of his accessories, they just go in his hand like you'd think they would. If you wanted to give him his gun, you just pick it into the hole on his hand. His sword, very much the same way. Although the hilt on this, you have to have it a certain way. It will go sideways, but it just looks weird. So if you hold it that way, it's much better and it looks much cooler. His lance, same thing. Ba-bam. And now he has a lance. Now the shield is really cool. He can't hold it in his hand, but he can have it side mounted. In order to bring it in front of him though, you have to have those squeaky joints, and he can't like hold it, bracing it like this, because it looks like he's hitting himself in the face with it. However, I find that this makes a very intimidating display. One more kind of hidden feature that he has is if you bring down his chest here, he has a dead Matrix, which is just the gold and black version of the regular Matrix. I think that idea is amazing. I cannot tell you why I think that is amazing, but I do. So Night Morpher Annihilator then, I think he is well worth the purchase. Now, I tracked mine down at Big Bad Toy Store, and I think they have a few left if you're still looking for this guy. So I think that's about all I can say for the Night Morpher Annihilator. Again, he makes me want to get the rest of the Hearts of Steel figures that Mastermind has done. Whether I will or not, that's up to my wallet, because I know they can be quite a bit of money. This guy alone, I've seen go for $80 or $100. He was on a significant discount, so I picked him up, and I could not be happier. So, I say pick him up. I think he's a fantastic figure to add to any collection. He's certainly welcome in mine. So, this has been Rocktimus Prime, saying hope you guys have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. Take care, guys.